Oh, YouTube. The other problems I have with Daniel is that he's very cold, he's very self centered, and just. I mean, I found out just now that he owes Lee actually more than I thought. I thought it was 800, it's actually over 1,000, Lee said. And I've been asking him for the money he owes me for 3 months now. Now, even if someone hasn't got much money, how can they not pay just £5 a month or £10 a month towards paying that off? Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's not. I just really don't get it. As I say, if you thought anything of someone, you'd give them the money back. I've always given money back to people when I borrowed it off people, which is very rare. I've rarely borrowed money off anyone. But when I was younger, I had to, and I give the money back. Yeah. Um, I just can't get over him. I really can't. I mean, he's just, as my sister says, he's a complete freeloader. I mean, it's just. I'm a very selfless person. I go out my way for my friends, for my family, and for my partner, and just. I'm just baffled by how he is. I really am. I'm completely confused by him. Um, I mean, I go out my way. Like I'm putting, for instance, I'm putting my friend up at the moment, Lee Cattell. I've been putting him up for a few days because he's having problems with his housing still and everything, and that's one example of what I do. But I've also helped Daniel many times. I've borrowed him money. I've bought him tobacco. I've bought him fags. I've done many things. I'm not trying to say I'm a saint or anything. I'm just saying that I've done everything I can to make the relationship work. In my opinion, I can't think of anything I haven't done where he's asked me, "Can you do this or can you do that?" Or I just, admittedly, the last couple of weeks I've been refusing to give him any money because the money just keeps going up, and he's not giving me hard. Well, he hasn't given me any money towards what he owes me for ages now. And that's why in Barcelona he started borrowing money off Ben, because I just refuse because I'm fed up of borrowing money and not getting the money back. As I said on the other video, if you care for someone, if you love them, then you give them the money back. Whether it's family members, whether it's close friends, whether it's a partner. I'm just completely baffled by him. I really am. He's just very. His attitude just stinks. It's like, I'm alright, Jack. As long as I'm happy, everyone else is there to serve me. That's his kind of attitude I get from him. At the moment, he's living with you and Rachel, and they're ferrying him around in her car. Rachel is, buying him takeaways and everything, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just there'll come a time when she'll realise that that friends don't keep taking all the time. They give something back in return. That's what I'm trying to say. Friends, family members, relationships. It's a give and take situation. It's almost Christmas. I mean, Christmas is the time for giving. It's not the time to keep taking all the time. Taking. because I've got some savings and everything. That was what made the holiday possible to Isle of Wight. That's what made the holiday possible to Barcelona. I mean, Daniel would never gone on either of them things if it wasn't for me. I'm not trying to make out I'm something I'm not. I'm just saying the facts that none of this would have happened. We wouldn't have had these adventures. He wouldn't have had these adventures. I probably still would have. I'd probably have gone with Lee or Ben, but he wouldn't have had these adventures without me. And I'm just baffled by how he is. It's like I don't care about anyone else but myself kind of attitude. And just, I'm really trying to get my head around it. It's like I've always been like a kind of person that gives. I haven't really been um I've never been the kind of person that takes. um I'm just baffled by how he is. It's just to me it feels mind-boggling. I mean, my first partner I used to look after and care for, and first get well, yeah. Um, with other partners, I, I'm just I'm just completely confused by him. I really am. He just feels like he came away from London because he was fed up with London, and it just feels like he's completely used me. He's he's obviously got bored of the relationship or whatever and decided he'd rather have friends rather than relationship. Because I can't see him, can you? See what I mean? It's like I've told him how I feel. I've told him how I feel on YouTube, and it's like I don't know. It's this really icy, stone cold emotion that I don't get as well. It's like I can see why none of his relationships have lasted more than a year, whereas I've had relationships that have lasted 7, 8 years. That just shows that how you don't stay in a relationship for 8 years unless you're a very caring, very kind sort of person. Relationships are hard work. Long term relationships are hard work, and you don't have an 8 year relationship unless you're a very kind, caring person. And I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet or anything. I'm just saying that the facts that I'm I'm just completely baffled by him. I mean, I've had partners in the past that if they upset me, they would come knock on the door, ask me am I okay or whatever. Don't get me wrong, I've had partners in the past that have upset me, but they'd be apologising afterwards. They'd be knocking on the door apologising. But Daniel's completely the opposite. He's like it's like he doesn't care, and this is the attitude I've had for him for ages now. Even last year in Blackpool, he was sort of shrugged his shoulders when I was upset with him. It's like there's no emotion. It's like there's no, what's the word? There's no the song Frozen by Madonna. That kind of reminds me of how he is, because there's just no emotion there with him at all. I've never seen any emotion with him. Um, I've been emotional when me and him have argued. I've been in tears, but I've never seen any emotion from him at all, apart from anger sometimes, or he just walks out. But I haven't seen any emotion at all. He's just quick to leave and not give two hoots about anyone else. And I think that's his whole lifestyle, because it sounds to me like he's gone from pillar to post from all different people in London. And I think that's his whole lifestyle. Whereas my lifestyle's a lot more settled, my lifestyle's a lot more long term. It's a lot more, is the word mahogany, or but my lifestyle's a lot more settled than his, because I go out my way for people. And that's probably why people stick around in my life. I've had friends for 15 years or so, and I'm still close to them today. And I don't know, I'm not trying to make Daniel out to be a bad person. I'm just saying that when it comes to relationships, there's a massive, massive barrier there. And no matter how much I try and crack that barrier, no matter how much I try and get through that barrier, there's no way I can get through it emotionally, physically, mentally. There's just no way I can get through it, and it's been like this for ages. That's probably why. That's probably why I'm not as upset this time, because it's been like this for so long now. I've been trying to get emotionally close to him, but it's just there's just nothing there. It's just I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but there's just nothing there. There's no emotion at all. I mean, when he first come up, it took at least, I would say it took at least 6 months before he even said he loved me. I said it frequently. I said it a lot. Um, I used to say it to him more. I think I used to say it to him like every day. But it took him ages, and I know I know his life might have been messed up maybe in the past, but I don't know. I just can't fathom him. I just find it really hard to understand him, how emotionally distant he is, how hard he is. You know, it's just I've never been that kind of person. I've always been a sensitive. Pardon. I've always been a sensitive, emotional kind of person, and my family is as well. I think that's probably why he doesn't really get on with my family, because my sister's very sensitive. My mum can be very sensitive, and he's been rude to both of them. And I know I fell out with them in the past as well. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I fell out with them in the past as well. But I've made up with them, and even at my nan's funeral, he was being rude to my sister, and I don't know. She says every time she sees him, he's asking her for fags every couple of minutes, um, and it's just, and she feels obliged to hand them over as well. It's just, and he'll sort of take her outside and say what he wants to say to her, and then just kind of, he's a bully. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm, I'm trying. I'm really, really trying not to be nasty about him, but these are the facts. This is how I've lived with him on and off for what, a year and a half now, just over a year and a half, and these are the facts. I mean, I've tried to distance myself many times from him because I don't want to get hurt, but I just really don't understand him. I mean, I don't hate him. I mean, I have hated him. Yes, that's true, but I want to wish him well, and I just feel like I need to move on because, as I say, I've asked him for the money back for 3 months. I haven't had any money back, not even as much as £1 back off him. And I mean, a few months ago he was giving me money back, but then going to Barcelona, he was borrowing more money off me, so it went back up again. And I just feel like he could at least give me a tiny bit of the money. You know, it would help towards what he owes me, and just I'm not saying, I know he's not rich, I know he hasn't got a lot of money, but he could give me a tiny bit of money towards what he owes me. And it just feels like he's just completely selfish. Um, my friend Lee says he owes him 1,100 almost. Um, he was very quick to criticise Aaron when he come up, that he actually owes Lee a lot more than Aaron, and he owes money to my friends, which Aaron never borrowed money off, and he hasn't give anything back, whereas Aaron did. Aaron used to buy me things, and he's never bought me anything. As I say, for my birthday, he bought me some earphones from Poundland, whereas I spent over £50 on him at JD Sports. And it just feels like, what's the point? Because you can only give for so long before you start realising, before you start thinking, well, he doesn't love me, because if he loved me, he'd give something back in return. When you love someone, you buy them things, you take care of them, you help them, or none of that's been forthcoming. It just seems like he's very lazy and very bone idle. I've asked him to come to the gym with me many times. I've asked him to go on walks with me many times. I've asked him to go cycling with me many times. I've asked him to do things together many times, and he'll be like, no. And it's just, I know he's big, but he could still try. If I was big, I would try. As I say, I've been 14 stone before. I'm about 11 stone now. I was in my early 20s. I went up to 14 stone, and I lost weight by walking up the Malvern Hills. But he won't even do that, and I know he can do it because I've done it with him before. So I know he can get up the Malvern Hills, but he won't do it. He won't do anything with me, and he hasn't done anything with me for ages, for months now, apart from the holiday. And that was a bit strange because there were so many things in my mind, so many reasons to be annoyed with him, that felt quite strained on the holiday. There was a lot of tensions there, and Ben was really good. He kept giving Daniel money, but he's upset that he's not getting the money back. But I don't know. I've known Ben for about 16 years or something. No, 16 years I've known Ben. And yeah, I just really don't know what Daniel's problem is. But as I say, I wish him the best. But at the same time, I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall, trying to get him to see my point of view. I do get nervous around him and anxious, and I get nervous and anxious of going around Hewitt, so there is a big communication problem there as well, because obviously I can't go around and say what I'm thinking, because I do feel a little bit nervous around Hewitt, and I feel nervous around Daniel as well, and that's why I blocked him, and just, I can only say how I feel, can't I, at the end of the day? I can only say what I'm thinking and how I feel. I can't comment on how other people feel or how other people think. I'd like to know what he thinks. I'd like to know how he feels, but I feel a lot of fear by approaching him and all that, because I don't like confrontations. I just don't like them. But I don't want to be a doormat at the same time, so it's easier to block him than have all these confrontations all the time, because I don't want to be a doormat, but I don't like getting into arguments, especially around people's homes I don't know so well. I mean, I know I've known Hewitt for a few years, but I've always kept a distance from Hewitt because he has a lot of mates around, and I do feel anxious around that, in that kind of environment. I only surround myself with people that I've known for a long, long time. I don't really put myself in situations where I don't know what the situation is, or I don't know who the people are. I don't put myself in those situations, full stop. I never have. And it's been a long time since I've had the confidence to do that. So yes, I wish him well, but it's not going anywhere, and I've been unhappy for a long time, so... Okay, I haven't got anything more to say about it, really. I'm not sure what else I can say. I'm probably repeating myself from what I said the other day, because, yeah, alright then, peace.